What's up, YouTube? It's your boy KB King Size here, and today we're actually going to do my deck profile. It's in a little weird way. As you see, we're using Digimon Card Dev as my usual setup I did for any TCG content is kind of dismantled at the moment. I'm actually going to redo my whole setup for card game stuff here soon, but for right now, we're going to do videos like this. So yeah, let's talk about my Ice Snow deck. This has actually been requested in a previous video for somebody to actually see the list I'm running, to get some kind of ideas for how to build the deck, you know, things like that. And this is just my take. This is what I've been playing with. This is what's been working for me. I'm going to show my actual current list, and I'll show out some possible techs you can do in the deck as well. Nothing too crazy, nothing too out of the ordinary, just what I think the Ice Snow deck should look like right now, and what I hope to see come to the deck eventually. Obviously, we're going to start out with our level 2, the egg. Hyarimon. Hyarimon is like the Ice Snow egg that we have. One attack once per turn. If your opponent has no sources, draw a card. Simple as that. It's a draw. Nothing too crazy. It's an advantage in your hand for what the deck already does. Going into our level 3s, this kind of is like standard, I want to say, for this deck. Our first level 3 is going to be Blukomon. We're running 4 of all of our level 3s here, just because the deck doesn't really run any other level 3s, and you want to see all of your pieces just for other effects that we have down the road. But yeah, so Blukomon, 3 play cost, 0 for Evo, 1 DP. On play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add a Paildramon or Hexablonmon in its name, and an Ice Snow trait card to your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of the deck. Rule text: it has Ice Snow, either inheritable when attacking, trash the top source of one of your opponent's Digimon. Simple as that. This is your searching tool. This is your, hey, I gotta pass over to one memory or whatever. Blukomon. That's it. This is like the level 3 for the deck. Well, one of the more important level 3s. Our next one, and it goes a lot out of order, is going to be the Penguinmon. I love this Penguinmon. The entire line that came out of EX8 is some of the best pieces for this deck. Blue-yellow, Evo costs 1 over yellow or blue, or over Hyarimon or egg for 0. Easy. When a Digimon would evolve into a Digimon card with Ice Snow trait, reduce the cost by 1. This comes up a lot. This is good for any of our level 4s, but for one in particular, this is fantastic because you can essentially Digivolve for 0 with this card. Rule trait has Ice Snow type. It's also a Liberator. So if you run any Liberator cards, like the Digimon Liberator card itself, or Vortex Resonance, you can search this out with that card. When attacking, give one of your opponent's Digimon second -1 to the end of their turn. That card is fantastic. That part is fantastic. That can be used as a great stalling piece in this deck. This is your main one you want to evo in the back, besides our other level 3, which is going to be Snow Agumon. Snow Agumon has Ice Clad, plain and simple. Rule trait has Ice Snow when attacking. Same with Blukomon, trash top source. This is one of my favorite rookies in this deck, favorite cards in this deck, because this is your early game pressure. It's early game pressure. You can use this as a late game pressure, but really using for early game pokes to delete other Digimon. I say this because of the Ice Clad trait, or the Ice Clad ability. Instead of comparing DP, unless you're doing with security, you do your amount of sources. If you vote the same in the back, you have a source. Once your opponent Digimon, if you're playing this deck correctly, have no sources. This is killing most things. This also deletes Mother D Reaper. So if you're playing against a Mother Shoto deck, this, because Ice Clad hits before anything else, this will delete Mother D Reapers. Something to keep in mind. That's really, besides the early game pressure, that is why I run this rookie. Getting to our level 4s, we're running 2 Sorcerermons. It's a blocker, has an on-play effect. Again, on-plays play a big part in this deck. I will get to that later. If your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution sources, one of your Digimon unsuspends. I'm not going to say it for everyone, but this also has the Ice Snow trait. We're going to stop here saying that, because everything in this deck has the Ice Snow trait, except for one Digimon in this deck. When attacking, top trash source. Easy enough. It's a 2-cost Evo, 5 KDP. It's a blocker with a decent on play. Next level 4 is Paildramon. We're running 2. Paildramon, when Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 sources of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution sources, this dude gets jamming a blocker to the end of your opponent's turn. It's not bad. If you get to Evo and still get to go, swing with this guy, jamming, cool. When attacking, trash top source. The only reason I don't like this thing really too much, only reason I run it is because it fits in with the search from Bluecomon. I would love it more if it had a on-play effect. Again, with some of the stuff in the deck, you really want the on-play effects. Your next level 4, which is probably my favorite, Frigimon. Frigimon, also from EX8. Digivolve for level 3, Ice Snow type. Ice Snow type, costs 2. Has Ice Clad, beautiful. On play when Digivolving, trash the bottom 2 sources of one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if one of your opponent's Digimon has no sources, gain a memory. This is where the Penguinmon comes into play, where Penguinmon reduces that cost by 1. Frigimon gains your memory back. You're essentially, if you go up the line, evolving for 0. That's not bad. Also has the effect, giving the minus security attack when you attack. And that does stack, so if I swing with the Penguinmon and Frigimon, or Penguinmon with whatever level 5 is with the Frigimon and a Penguinmon underneath of it, you're giving sec -1 to something twice. That's not bad. I think that's not bad. These are also vaccines, so if you want to be a little cute, you can play like some yellow vaccine dumbness in here, but please don't do that. This is the only Ice Snow not in the deck, which is Zudomon Ace. Zudomon Ace, we know what Zudomon Ace does. It's stripping sources and it's bouncing something. That's it. The only reason this card is scary to use, is because the deck doesn't have a ton of protection outside of our actual levels, one of our level 6s. So you never want to give up the overflow memory, but this is a good piece, especially it costs 4. You can hard play this card. It's not a bad hard play. It's Zudomon Ace. We've been around this block enough. We know what Zudomon Ace does. Next level 5 is going to be Chris Paildramon, Ice Clad, already perfect. 7 cost, 3 cost Evo. When Digivolving, trash into sources underneath one of your opponent's Digimon, any 2, not just the top or the bottom. Then if your opponent has a Digimon with no sources, unsuspend. While your opponent has no Digimon with Digivolution cards, the Digimon Ice Snow gains Piercing and Sec +1. Beautiful. It's fantastic. I still hate that it's just a one Digivolving. It's also a more expensive Evo, because there's no way to get around it, but it's not bad. It's okay. It's okay. If I could run 8 of this next card right here, Polar Bearmon, I would run 8. I love this card. This is, I think, the best card in the deck. Ice Clad, great. On play when Digivolving. I think the on play when Digivolving effect of this card is insane. It is so good. Trash any 2 sources for one of your opponent's Digimon. Beautiful. That's it right there. That's enough for this type of deck. This level 5, great. Then one of your opponent's Digimon with no sources cannot suspend or activate one Digivolving effects to the end of their turn. Cool. So you go on play, when Digivolving, swing with this dude or whatever. You can ace all you want. You ain't getting no extra effect. Your turn, you want to Digivolve into something, do some crazy stuff. You're not going to do that. You can't even swing or block. Great card. Same inheritance as Chris Paildramon. Ice Snow, your opponent has no sources. Piercing, Sec +1. Great. Our first level 6 going to be the number 1 Hexablow. It's Hexablow. I love this card. I want to run 3. I might drop something down so I can run a 3rd, but right now I'm running 2. This is also an expensive card, so I only have 2, but that's neither here nor there. Sec +1, Ice Clad, already great. If you have one of the, well, if you have either level 5 and you meet the conditions, you're Sec +2 in right there with Piercing. It's beautiful. Piercing with Ice Clad is hilarious to me. 1 Digivolving, trash any 4 sources under 1 opponent's Digimon. Then if your opponent has no Digivolution card, return one of their Tamers to the bottom of the deck. That's really good for certain matchups where you just want to get rid of Tamers off rip. Some decks live and die by their Tamers. This is it. Diabormon's a deck Diabormon is a deck that this deck has a great matchup into. This is one of the reasons why. You bottom deck that errata, no more extra tokens. Great. Fantastic. The already can, especially with the opponent's turn effect. Knowing your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer sources cannot suspend. Oh, you got tokens on the board? They're not doing anything. Unless you're Central and you have a great stack, you're not doing anything here. Our new level 6, Scottymon. I love Scottymon. Scottymon is such a cool card. This was such a great addition to the Ice Snow deck. Design-wise, I mean, this art's done by Koki. He's my favorite designer for this card game. But the effect is fantastic. Ice Clad has Barrier. This is where your protection comes in for the Zudomon. When Digivolving, this is where the on-play effects come in handy. This is why I like the card with on-play effects. You may play 1 level 4 lower Ice Snow trait Digimon from your hand without paying the cost. Cool. That's great. That's giving me Glucomon, Snow Agumon, and my level 3s and level 4s. Right there. For each of your opponent's Digimon with no sources, add 1 to the level maximum that you can play. So if you have another 1, I'm playing level 5, which I'm probably playing a Polar Bear on. Great. If you have 2, I'm playing level 6s. So I'm playing another one of these. I'm playing Hexablow, something. And then when Digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, by placing 1 Digimon with no Digivolution cards as the bottom security card, this Digimon unsuspends. So say I've hard played something, bam, cool. I swing with my Scottymon. I can bottom deck your card that I know I could beat in security because I've got Sec +1 from a level 5, plus the piercing and all that. I'm swinging. I know I'm going to beat it. I can bottom deck it and just clear your security. Or I can say play. Maybe if I get to play another Scottymon or Hexablow, cool. Put it in my security. Unsuspend, keep swinging. This guy can clear security stacks easy, especially having the barrier. I think this card is fantastic. Love this card. And it's a 3-cost Evo over the Ice Snow. So unless you're Evoing over Zudomon, you're 3-cost Evoing this guy. It's fantastic. Getting to our 2 level 7s we play. Gobblebond. I think this card's great. This is perfect for this deck. We're not looking at the regular Digivolve effect. We're just blast Evoing this thing. On play, I have hard played this thing, but you're mostly just blast Evoing into this. Return 2 of your opponent's Digimon with as many or fewer sources as a Digimon to the bottom of the deck. That's it right there. You are stripping sources. We're good. When attacking once per turn, you have a Tamer, this guy unsuspends. That's it. 14k, bam, swing, unsuspend, swing, 14k again. It's a solid card for this deck. It's a solid level 7 for this deck. The other level 7 I run is Imperial Digimon Paladin mode, because if you have a blue card or whatever, if you can fit this card in a deck, run it. Trash all the sources of your opponent's Digimon, which is great. That adds to my game plan. Return all cards from yours or opponents to the bottom of the deck. Add a level 7 white card, gain 3 memory. Depending on the deck, you just want to get rid of their trash regardless. If you're playing against Gallantmon, you want to get trash numbers low. You're playing against Purple Hybrid, trash needs to be gone. Beelzemon, Trash and Be Gone, whatever. When attacking, by return when you put Digimon with no sources, again, this is feeds to our game plan. Unspend the Digimon, it's not once per turn. That's it. Oh, you got a whole board of stuff with no sources? Cool. Swing, unsuspend, swing, unsuspend, swing. You get the point. Our next card, we're in the options. We're playing 2 blue scrambles. I mean, this is fantastic for this deck, especially if you want to get pieces back, like your Polar Bear Mons for your Scattermon plays, things like that. I think this card's fantastic. All of your rookies fit under the start of your turn effect. You can't beat that. Blue Memory Boost, we know what Blue Memory Boost does. It's a searcher. You're grabbing pretty much every card in this deck. You're actually grabbing every Digimon in this deck, so that's not a problem. Mental Training, you're grabbing almost every card in this deck except for 1 card. That's it. I am, as a flex spot, I'm playing a single Heaven's Judgment. You can activate this. Again, it's a flex spot for me. I might up something else, but it's not a bad piece to remove, especially get hit with security. It's not bad. Tamers. Tamers are very simple. We're running the good, tried and true, old Sora Joe. This deck is made for Sora Joe. The Heaven's Judgment might actually come out for a 3rd Sora Joe. Right now, I'm just running 2. Start of your turn, opponent has no Digimon, has a Digimon with no sources, gain 2. Off rip. That's great, because that's your game plan right there. No sources. Oh, you just scramble the Digimon. Back to my turn. Boom. I get 2 memory. One of my Digimon attacks. Trash bottom sources on one of Digimon, fueling my game plan. This is it. And then I'm playing 3 of the Suzune Tamers. I really like this Tamer. Some people really don't. If you're really following this deck's game plan, and this is where it goes to the things I want for this deck, using Scottymon's effect or the effect from Scramble, whatever, playing this thing out, great. You're getting that memory back. You're getting back, not a memory, but you're trashing a source. That's great. It's further fueling your game plan. This is it. I think this is a very solid Tamer. I wish she did give more than just the 1 memory, but that's where the 3-cost Tamer thing comes in. If she's 4-cost, she probably would have said, but this is fine. If, depending on my turn, I'm getting back 3 memory because of the Sora Joe plus the Suzunes. And if I have multiple Suzunes, I'm bankrolling. This deck is very solid. I really like this deck. I think it has room for improvements. I want more stuff with on plays, but besides that, I think this deck is kind of solid where it is. I think this deck can kind of do its thing on the locals level. Maybe if you do the early rounds of a regional, I think this deck does solid. I think in the right hands, it could go further. I want to see more support for it, but I think the deck can do fine. Now let's talk about tech pieces and things that you could run in this deck if you wanted to try something different. So we only run 4 eggs. If you really want to, you could run the 5th egg as a Bugamon. It gives jamming when you have a Digimon with no sources. There you go. Part of the game plan. I just don't like it because if I have to evolve it's a Penguinmon, I'm paying the memory for it. That's the only reason I really don't like it. Besides that, the deck, the card is fine. If you want a source to give you jamming to get around certain things, the Beelzemon from EX8 is a solid card to play. It's another 0-cost Evo. If you want to change out something, and a lot of these rookies will be changing out for probably the Snow Agumon. So that's where you want to, that's kind of your rookie flex spot. So that's why I don't have to repeat that every time I go through a rookie. This is kind of your, this is where you find your flex spots for your rookie. So Beelzemon, not bad, being a 3-cost and blocker. It's just not Ice Snow. Tonemon, you can't reduce play cost. Again, Evo's for 0. It's not Ice Snow, but this is not a bad card. Another option, Crabmon. It's the same thing for Beelzemon. Gives jamming. The on play isn't bad, but it's just another source for jamming. I see people run this Crabmon for sure. Jamming is nice. It's just I don't like not having the Ice Snow. That's just me personally. Getting to level 4s. BT11, Yokomon, which is Ice Ogremon. It's a 1-cost Evo. It's an Ice Snow Trace. You can actually search this thing. It's not bad. It's a vanilla card, but it's a source, whatever. You are running Tamers in this deck. So the Kumamon option, not option, the Kumamon, the old one from BT7, not a bad one. It strips sources. There you go. You could also run the new Kumamon, as well as the new Korikaku. I don't like the 3-cost Evo. It's the only reason I don't like this. It does have the Ice Snow trait. I just don't like that it is a 3-cost Evo. I don't like losing that Evo. Same the Korikaku. This one's a 4-cost Evo. It has jamming. Like if you're running like a blue hybrid type of thing, if I did blue hybrid with the Ice Snow, actually isn't a bad idea where you would run these, but especially if you're running like Tommies or whatever, cool, go for these. But if not, they're a decent choice because they are Ice Snows, but they're not fantastic. Digimon Ace, a great other Ace option for this deck. Digivolve 2. Then none of your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer sources can suspend to the end of their turn. Beautiful. When attacking, delete one opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer sources. This is not a bad Ace option, honestly. I wish this did have Ice Snow. I feel like it's a Viking, it could have Ice Snow, but that's neither here nor there. It's not a bad Ace option. Speaking of Ace options for level 6s, the new Metal Digimon Ace, fantastic. Digivolve 1, and then return a play cost 7 or lower Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Cool. I think I would rather run the Vikemon, but the Metal Digimon is not a bad option. Going back to the hybrid stuff, Ancient Mega Theramon is an Ice Snow. It's only a 3-cost Evo. When Digivolving, charge bottom 2 sources of all your opponent's Digimon. Another Digimon with no sources can suspend to the end of their turn. Great. It's doing basic Ice Snow stuff. When Digimon will leave the battle area, you can play a level 4 lower Digimon with the Mammal, Ice Snow, or Hybrid trait from this dude's sources. That's not bad. That's not bad. Again, you want more own plays, but it's not bad. It's if you need another level 6, or you don't have all your Scottimons or Hexabiles, this ain't a bad option. Omni for game. Omni for game. The only bar part is because it's not blue or anything, you can't search it. But if you get to an Omni for game, that's it. That's all you can say about Omnimon, the old BT5 Omnimon. And then wave of reliability, trash your sources. If you have a Joe, which is Sword Joe, choose one of Digimon. Your opponent has no Digimon with as many or more sources. You can suspend your Digimon. That's it. You're just trashing sources for 2. It's not bad. It's really not. It's not great. It's not bad. And the last card, Davis Multimedia. It's Davis. It's a memory tamer. You're revealing your top cards. Add a blue and a green, which means you could grab a blue, and if you hit it, you can grab the Imperial Digimon. That's fine. It's Davis. There's nothing else to say. It's Davis. But that is really where the Ice Snow deck is for me as a player. I've been playing with this deck since they revealed all the new line, the new Penguinmon with the Scottimon line. Been super interested in this. Big fan of the Liberator comic. I was looking for a deck to play between this weird format that we're in, and I'm really liking this deck. Taking it to locals a couple times. I've done pretty well with it. I really just want to see more support for it. I think the deck can do something down the road, and I would love to see the deck actually do something down the road. I think this could be a sleeper hit if people are prepared for it. So give it a try. Let me know your thoughts. If you play with this deck, any kind of weird text that I didn't mention that you think work really well, anything you didn't think of that you saw on my list or my options for text, just comment down below. We talk about it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys soon. Peace.